Welcome back to the show. We got a great one lined up. Check it out. The XRP Spot ETF sets a new record. It's unbelievable. You're going to want every single bit of it. And human factor in crypto hacks. We need to go over this so we can all learn to stay safe. And is Microstrategy in trouble? Somebody roll that beautiful intro so we can find out.
Digital Perspectives with Brad Kimes. Come on in.
Welcome back to the show. You can follow us on X, YouTube, and DigPerspectives.com for exclusive content. Right now, $3.31 trillion market cap for crypto. The market's off 6.6%, but that hasn't stopped the news from being bullish today. Bitcoin now 95,200 plus, Ethereum 3,100 plus, XRP's 228. Now we're off 8.2 on the 24. Ethereum's off 10.6 on the 24 and 7.5 off for Bitcoin on the 24. Now we're still up 5.6, but Ethereum's off 2.8 on the 7-day and 4.2 off for Bitcoin on the 7-day as well. Looking at the range of price here for XRP, ranging between 225 and 250. We'll keep an eye on it as we move forward. I want to remind you that tickets are on sale for XRP Las Vegas. Don't mess around. The tickets are flying off the shelf. I want to remind everybody right now, this is a great Christmas gift. Yes, it is. Tell your spouse what you want for Christmas. Look, Ripple's a premier sponsor this year in a way they never have been. Paul Barron, a media desk on the exhibit floor, and we got so much more planned for you. If you've been to XRP Las Vegas, I want you to know right now, it is going to be an experience like you've never, ever had at our conference. And I tell you, we raise the hype bar every year. Get your tickets, xrplasvegas.com. Now let's talk about this. And we talk about crypto hacks all the time, but look at this. The human factor in crypto hacks, nearly 70%, that's an incredible number. Nearly 70% of stolen funds in 24-25 came from key compromises, not software bugs, social engineering, fake support chats, and phishing messages have replaced code exploits as the main attack vector. Now, this is not the only way that they do attacks, but these are the ways that it's working right now for the bad guys. And it's 70% of stolen funds are being done the ways that we just highlighted here. Now, I know I tell you about the places that I store assets and I feel safe, but I want you to hear directly from Caleb and Brown. This is Jim Bazzani, and I want you to hear directly from him. He sat down with Digital Asset Investor. And then I want you to click the link underneath this video you see here, or the one under my video. It's the same link. And go open your free account and start getting the peace of mind you deserve in this space. Take a listen to how safe Caleb and Brown is.
So there are a whole range of security procedures and protocols we have as a business to protect clients, not only if something was to happen to their account, but also just in the case of if they're doing a withdrawal, ensuring that it's actually them. So as you mentioned, I'll start from the very beginning and work my way through. For every Caleb Brown account, you're required to have obviously an email and password. That's pretty commonplace. We also require every client to set up two-factor authentication, which is actually a really great security mechanism. Even in scenarios where, say, your email may be hacked, or in certain scenarios where your phone is SIM swapped, they still can't get access to your two-factor authentication. So those are the three main things, and they're probably seen as the most basic level of security that's required. On top of that, as you mentioned, so for any withdrawals that clients would like to do, we actually have to verify that you own that wallet. And so the way that we do that is when you go to verify a wallet address with Caleb Brown, we'll actually send a little bit of crypto to that wallet, and then you need to log into that wallet of yours and actually verify the amount that we've sent. So that's a really great way to actually verify that you own the wallet that you're looking to withdraw those assets to or transfer assets to. So that's the main element. Once that wallet address is set up, then you can be set up for withdrawals. But we have a whole bunch of security procedures and protocols in place to ensure that if a client is compromised, whether it's via email, whether it's via their phone, not only can they not get access to the account, but if in certain scenarios they do get access, we are still protecting our client and providing the relevant security parameters in place. So as I mentioned before, if the client was to compromise or have their email compromised, we have a range of procedures. So the first thing is that for any withdrawals, we actually will call the client, we'll verify that it's them. The benefit of our personalized service is that most of our brokers know our clients and through their voice. So we can almost automatically understand if something doesn't seem quite right. And part of just the personalized service as well is if you and I are speaking about, your investment horizon and you want to hold XRP for the long term, but then all of a sudden we're starting to get withdrawal requests for XRP, or you want to sell out of your XRP, that will immediately raise red flags. We also allow clients to set up secret passcodes or phrases that they can use with their broker to ensure that as soon as we get on a call, and some of these calls are done through video as well, so we'll actually be able to visually see the client. But if they don't give that passphrase, we have it under authority not to make those withdrawals and put those withdrawals into action. So there are just a few of the parameters, but we even have things where we'll look at the IP address of a client, and if the withdrawal request has come from a place where they don't usually email from, that will immediately raise a red flag. We have things internally around tracking the language that's used by our clients. Usually our clients email in a very particular way. So if they email in a way that doesn't seem like it's them, again, that's another red flag. So every withdrawal that comes through from Caleb Brown is looked at and is meticulously reviewed, not only by the broker or one of their associates, but our operations team as well, by our C-suite who need to tick off larger withdrawals as well. So we have a whole range of security checks in place at multiple levels of the business. So the clients can feel rest assured that for any withdrawals that are done, we will 100% verify to you before any withdrawals get put out.
There you have it right there. And I tell you, you can put those special restrictions on your account as well, whether it's a passcode, a secret phrase, you want to make sure you do a Zoom call. Where else can you add these kinds of special restrictions that some bad actor can't replicate? They can't know it. Right? I mean, I just want everybody to have the same understanding so you can understand the level of peace of mind. And by the way, there is someone out here saying that if Caleb and Brown went bankrupt, that your assets aren't safe. They are flat out lying. That person is a liar. He's also a fraud. And we'll get into that, I'm sure, as it unfolds and his mouth gets himself in a place where he can't get out of. It's the one thing you can't get him to talk about. But if he keeps lying, we're gonna unpack it for the world. So I can tell you right now, open your free account, go to xrpwealth589.com and start getting the peace of mind you deserve, because Caleb and Brown can bring it to you. No doubt about it. Ripple is still in acquisition mode, head on a swivel. Look at this. Circle stock shares all the way down to 89. It may even be lower today. I don't know. I don't even want to look because I hold it. Right. But what I do know is that because I have, a position in Circle, is that, remember, Ripple tried to acquire Circle, and with the share price falling down, that conversation may still be on the table. Ripple is still in acquisition mode, head on a swivel out here. And also, if they don't acquire them, I'm thinking, wow, when the market infrastructure bill passes, we should see a surge of capital flood back into this market. And could that be a beneficial moment, not only for this market, but Circle? I don't know, but I'm curious to find out as the market unfolds and the legislation gets passed. Now, here is a real point to really pay attention to. Now, we know Michael Saylor has Microstrategy, and what he does is he sells shares to his company so then he can go out and acquire Bitcoin. Now, at risk of angering a few maxis, Dom Kwok from EZA says, I will say that I believe Microstrategy may be on its last legs. In a week where Bitcoin broke all-time highs, Microstrategy is down 20% from its highs. Now listen, Dom Kwok used to work for Goldman Sachs and Blackstone doing business valuations. So he's not shooting from the hip here. This guy's got experience in this area. He says, for a company that claims to provide leveraged Bitcoin exposure, this is exactly what strategy investors don't want to see. As you can see, the strategy going down, right? And then Bitcoin in blue, right? So if the price divergence continues, which looks likely, he says, investors will no longer buy MicroStrategy stock, and the new money that Saylor relies on to continue buying Bitcoin will stop flowing in fast. Unlike when Saylor began his strategy, there are now several safer ways for investors to get Bitcoin exposure: ETFs, buying directly on Coinbase or Robinhood. If I were an early investor in strategy, I would monitor this situation very closely, not financial advice. Now, MicroStrategy just started selling Bitcoin, they said, for the first time in 2 years. It says they've dumped 33,000 Bitcoin. That's what it says. It says worth 3.2 billion and keep selling more every few minutes. What's going on? If that's true, I say, Michael, you're going the wrong way. Oh, wait. People are figuring out that buying your stock is a stalking horse to hide your real intention for you to accumulate Bitcoin. And people are figuring it out and buying ETFs outside of MicroStrategy instead. I will take this moment to remind everyone that Michael Saylor was one of the biggest losers in the dot-com bubble, printing around a $13 billion loss. So whatever you decide to do, and I'm not telling you what to do, make sure you'll be rich after it all, just like Michael has done. So there you have the public service reminder. Now, we had the spot XRP ETF for Canary Capital launch yesterday. And James Seifert says $245 million in net flows. Big day for the XRPC ETF, over 58.5 million in trading volume and over 245 million in net inflows. He says 245 million into XRPC today. Huge first day. It's a little bigger than a huge first day. It's actually record setting. And not only was it a huge day for spot XRP ETF for Canary Capital, it was a record-breaking moment, and I wouldn't expect a Bitcoin maxi to note it. Now think of this for a moment. That one ETF shows us what is about to happen for the almost 20 XRP ETFs they are waiting to launch right behind it. So how long before BlackRock join in? And here's the list of others, right? There's the list. And we're waiting for BlackRock to join the list. Grayscale's gone. This is so exciting. And congratulations to Stephen McClurg and Canary Capital. We look forward to having you back at XRP Las Vegas 2026 and talk about what the size of the inflows are at that point. Get your ticket. I'm going to tell you. Chad Steingraber says this as it's shared by Paul Barron. Cha-ching. If you're still asking why it didn't affect the XRP price, understand how the ETF process works. Tomorrow, T+1, the net inflows will be handed over to purchase the asset. So what I'm saying is the ETFs are about to start going on a buying spree, essentially saying capital allocation. The money from the sale of these new ETF shares is given to the ETF sponsor, who then uses that capital to purchase more of the underlying assets so it's not upside down, right? So there's many different ways. And then there's also some more information on that in just a second here. Nate Garazzi sharing it in the incredible news that Canary's XRP ETF is the highest day one trading volume out of 900 plus ETF launches this year. Yeah, that's what James Seifert forgot to tell you, right? The Canary in the XRP ETF coal mine is singing, ladies and gentlemen. It is singing. I love this. I love this. I love this. And here is Stephen McClurg talking with Nate Garazzi. Take a listen.
And with all three of these spot ETFs that you've brought to market, all offer in-kind creations and redemptions, correct?
They do.
And talk more about that and just the structure of these products overall, just at a high level.
This is important.
Yeah, so it's great that we can process in kind now. When Bitcoin Spot first launched, the SEC stopped in kind from happening. And in kind creates and redeems is really where the tax benefits come in. So what's the reason why it's really important in crypto is that there's a lot of people that actually hold tokens on their ledger or some other place that they necessarily don't want all of their tokens there, right? So think about Mt. Gox when it went down, or think about ledgers that have broken in the past. People want to probably diversify their holdings, and hold it in an ETF is probably one of the safest ways to do that, as opposed to exchanges or ledgers. And what we've seen as far as inflows coming in, about 85% of our inflows in HBAR has actually been in kind. And we're also seeing a large amount of orders this morning for in kind and XRP as well. One of the things that when in kind orders come in, you don't see it in trade volume. So trade volume is a little bit tricky. It doesn't necessarily translate one-to-one on AUM or inflows. It's just what's being transacted throughout the day. But when you have people moving their coins from a wallet or a ledger into an ETF, that trade volume doesn't occur because it is in kind.
There you have it. So there's a lot of people moving their XRP into this thing, and it doesn't even show up in the trading volume. Oh my, oh my. As Nate Garazzi said here, Canary Capital's XRP ETF posts the highest day one trading volume out of 900 plus ETF launches this year. Yeah. Also, nearly $250 million in inflows. I ask once again, who could have seen this coming? The XRP Army. That's who could have seen this coming, Nate. Yeah. BlackRock missed this one, says Paul Barron. The battle is on now. Dom Kwok's thoughts on the XRP ETF smash records. Experts say BlackRock could be next. Canary Capital spot XRP hitting that $25 million in the first 30 minutes of the launch. You knew it was going to be a great day when we heard that yesterday, marking one of the strongest debuts, matter of fact, the strongest debut in the ETF market this year. Analyst Dom Kwok said he had predicted in August that XRP's ETF would be among the most popular ever, and it's already proving true. Kwok added that it may only be a matter of time before BlackRock launches its own XRP fund, signaling growing institutional interest. Oh boy. Now let's listen to Mike Novogratz, who's recently come to the light, right? He's come to the light. Ladies and gentlemen, listen to what he says about the checkered flag.
What people don't get, and it's hard for us to get because we've been grinding for 8 years, more than 8 years, quite frankly.
Yeah.
8 years as a public company, is that in lots of ways, the checkered flag hasn't even fallen yet. Mm-hmm. The checkered flag will fall when this market structure bill gets passed.
There it is.
When I mean the checkered flag, it's when all the institutions say, hey, it's safe to swim in the pool.
Yeah.
There it is right there. And that's exactly what we're looking for. And then here he is again. Now he conflates Ripple with XRP, and I think he does it on purpose. But nonetheless, Ripple's the company, XRP's the asset. And listen to what he says here.
How do you turn something from being a token into money? It's a really, really complicated and difficult. So far, we've had a few that have done it. XRP has done it. And that surprised everybody, right? Because
did it surprise you?
It did. And listen, we're a big owner of XRP, the company, but the token, because, I had all the same reasons everyone else. It was less decentralized. It was not a true blockchain. You can all the criticisms at XRP, it missed something important. They built a fierce community of people that believed in their narrative and turned it into money. And for them, it's money.
Well, and let's be a little more truthful here, Mike. I know it's tough for you. And it's also money to G Treasury and Hidden Road and Palisades and Rail Financial. Right? Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's where we're at on this day, ladies and gentlemen. XRP is money. And I love that we're finding out. Remember, it's money to FinCEN too, right? Which is attached to the U.S. Treasury virtual currency, they called it. Not financial advice from me or anyone else. I'm excited to see the next round of ETFs come out of the gate and where they will go next. I'll catch all of you on the next one.